review. These are just general first impressions after using the device for just a few hours. If you want to see our first impressions on the iPhone 6 Plus, we'll link that down below as well in case you are curious. So the iPhone 6, if this was the only device Apple announced a week and a half ago, I think people would have been very excited. 4.7-inch screen, it's bigger than the 4-inch we've had in the past, would have made a lot of people happy. This feels more typical phone size to me, and I generally use larger phones. Coming from a OnePlus One, a G3, Galaxy S5, HTC One M8, sort of my back history of phones, they've all been on the larger side. This feels more natural. It doesn't seem like super weird that you've got iOS on a larger screen. It just feels sort of natural. A lot of people are concerned about a few things. The first one is the screen. It's not true 720p, we'll just call it 720p for argument's sake, versus the 1080p on the iPhone 6 Plus. I will say, on first impressions, when I held both of these side by side, looking at the same picture on both, they both look really good. It's hard to tell the difference. Certainly you get a little bit more screen real estate, and there are more pixels on there and a higher PPI on the 6 Plus, but this is a really good screen. Don't get so caught up in the specs on what the resolution is. It's a really nice screen. Video looks incredible on it. Pictures look absolutely awesome on it. You're not going to have sort of a lesser quality screen. Less pixels there definitely, but it's going to look really good. Think of it like if you have two TVs up on a wall. One's better, one's maybe a little bit worse spec-wise. You might be able to see a difference. But as soon as you take that better one off the wall and you start looking at that one set, it looks good. Unless you have something directly to compare it to next to it, you're not going to notice the screen. The other issue is that guy right there, that 8-megapixel sensor. First of all, this thing has a camera hump on it, which I can excuse on the 6 Plus because there's OIS. It has to go in and out. Barely excuse it there. I have a really hard time excusing it, though, on the iPhone 6, which does not have OIS. It has DIS, which is digital image stabilization. We did a video test showing what that looked like. We'll link that down below, where our own Mark Lintangen filmed me outside. He jumped around to see how that stabilized digitally. I expected a lot of image warp in there and video warp. We didn't have any. It worked really well. Even compare it to the OIS on the 6 Plus, there wasn't that big a difference. So the concerns about the camera, I mean, almost seem moot, which is surprising why Apple made such a big deal about OIS when their digital image stabilization was really that good. The other thing is about the focus pixels. People are saying still 8 megapixel. Apple's being like, hey, wait a sec, we have focus pixels, which definitely sounds like ultra pixel style marketing, but it does mean that you are going to get much, much faster autofocus. We're using the gold version here. The gold is definitely brighter gold than what we saw on the last generation 5S. So take a look at it in store if you're set on gold. Some people might like it, some might not. The antenna bands are really pronounced here, and that's another thing about design I'm not a big fan of. But put a case on this guy, not going to have to worry. Speakers, much like on the 6 Plus, are stupid loud. I had to turn the volume down because they were so loud. So if you rely on speakerphone or maybe are a little bit hard of hearing or just want a louder phone, you're going to be pretty happy with this guy. We have an 802.11 AC router here. I haven't seen any speed differences at all. Hopefully I'll have less interference on it, but if you're really set on AC, I don't know, we'll test that more. It hasn't been sort of a giant difference yet. For us. We are testing this guy on T-Mobile, and we did try their Wi-Fi calling, and it sounded ridiculously awesome. It's probably more of a T-Mobile thing than an iPhone 6 thing, but if you're considering switching or want to wait until 2015 when Verizon and AT&T come out with Wi-Fi calling, it works really, really well on here. One of the things about the 6 Plus that I liked was when you double tap on Touch ID, not push the button down, but double tap, the screen drops down. I like that they kept that feature here on the 6. If you have a hard time reaching the top of a display, just go ahead and double tap that and it shrinks it right down, and you go ahead and reach things a lot easier with one hand. So that was nice. The phone feels really nice. It fits in pants without any problem at all, as you'd expect. It feels really, really light. It's too early for me to comment on battery life, but we'll of course test that. I know a lot of people were worried about how long it was going to last with different screen brightnesses. So we'll make sure we put that through a full battery of tests. But things I want you guys to take away if you're considering switching or not switching or which phone to get, at least in video, digital image stabilization is really good. And the screen, like most Apple screens, looks very, very nice. I don't think you're getting an inferior screen just for the eyes. Certainly spec-wise, one could argue otherwise, but it looks really, really nice. So don't let that concern you. The big decision for me, if you want to get a 6 versus a 6 Plus, is the size. Do you want that more screen real estate? Do you want a 4.7 or a 5.5? I'd recommend going to the store and trying them or trying a friend's before you decide which one to buy. I know a lot of people are really excited to get the 5.5 and realize it was just way too big. This is really a nice middle ground for them. Anyway, guys, of course, we'll do a ton more coverage on this phone, the 6 Plus, on technobuffalo.com. Check us out over there for the latest and greatest tech news and just a ton of coverage of the devices. Until next time, I'm John Rander from TechnoBuffalo. See you guys next video. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We love making tech videos here, and if you like watching them, be sure to hit the giant subscribe button so you know exactly what's happening in the world of technology. And if you like gaming, you want to see us play some games, albeit sometimes kind of badly, check out our new Twitch channel at twitch.tv/technobuffalo.